Straight ahead on 12 News, look out below. The Halloween experiment with a school lesson attached. Then venturing into Maple Grove where things get a little creepy. But first, a difficult night for some apartment tenants after a fire in Brooklyn Center. 12 News starts right now. Hello and thanks for joining us. We will have the latest on that fire in just a moment, but first, Brooklyn Park Police are actively investigating an armed robbery at a Subway restaurant that involves shots fired.
It happened just before 10 p.m. Sunday at the Subway in the 8500 block of Zane Avenue North. Police say at least one shot was fired in the business, but there were no injuries. As we went to air Monday evening, no arrests had been made.
Meanwhile, 27 people are without their home after a two-alarm fire Sunday in Brooklyn Center.
Now, that fire happened at the Twin Lake North Apartments, and 12 News reporter Eric Nelson visited with the fire chief today and has more on the investigation.
There is nothing but charred remains in a couple of units at the Twin Lake North apartment complex.
Definitely could have been much worse, without a doubt.
Fire crews from Brooklyn Center, Brooklyn Park, Fridley, Robbinsdale, and West Metro were dispatched to the scene at 5:18 p.m. on Sunday.
We had heavy smoke on the Charlie side of the building, and upon my arrival, we had heavy fire on the third floor, the two center units decks.
The cause of the fire is unknown and under investigation. There were no injuries, and 3 cats were rescued, but 27 residents have been displaced.
The 2 units on the third floor were displaced to the fire and possibly 2 units below that, but the remaining of the occupants were displaced due to shutting the power off and then having to turn the boiler off for heat.
The location of the apartment unit made things even more difficult for firefighters to battle the blaze.
On that side, not able to get trucks back there, so we have to hand jack all our lines basically from our trucks to that side.
But thanks to fast action by the fire crews, they got their hoses in place and were able to douse the flames.
That was probably the saving grace initially in putting out that fire, because otherwise it could have easily spread to the roof and then out to other units.
Now, we did speak to somebody who lives right next to where the fire started. He declined to go on camera, but did say that he did not notice the blaze until he left the building. In Brooklyn Center, I'm Eric Nelson, Channel 12 News.
In Brooklyn Park, an investigation into a house fire last week points to smoking as the likely cause. The fire significantly damaged the home last Tuesday in the 2700 block of 98th Avenue North. Firefighters were delayed battling the fire because a gas meter had become damaged, which fueled the flames. The utility company and firefighters had to dig in the front yard to find the valve to shut off the gas.
Light rail in Brooklyn Park is still years away, but groups devoted to living a more active lifestyle are already celebrating how the train will impact the city. Members of the Active Living Hennepin County Partnership celebrated the group's 10th anniversary by boarding a bus and taking a tour of Brooklyn Park's future light rail transit station. That's on 85th and West Broadway. The walking tour began at the new Hennepin County Library and continued to North Hennepin Community College. Along the way, the group made stops to learn about how the light rail station would improve life for pedestrians and also for bicyclists.
I think it's exciting for the community. I mean, when we look at this and you see there's no way for people to walk to the college, and if you stand out here for 15 minutes, you'll see people walking in the grass. And so the pedestrian improvements that are going to be part of the train is, I think, really exciting.
The Metro Blue Line extension is scheduled to begin operating in the year 2021.
Teachers and students at Elm Creek Elementary in Maple Grove are using Post-it notes to help head off bullying. This first grade class arrived to find someone had secretly left Post-it notes on their desks with positive messages that said things like, "You're unique," or "You're a leader."
We just thought that if everybody, even staff, were promoting the kindness to others, that it would maybe help bullies or regular students, anybody, feel better about themselves.
It just really gets them to think about their actions, and we're hoping that it resonates with them how it feels when they do something good for others and when they're kind to others versus the other way around.
And after reading their messages, these first graders then delivered Goodwill messages of their own to another class. The event wraps up a Bullying Prevention Awareness Month.
More than 400 children have new coats to keep them warm, thanks to a Plymouth woman and her friend. Danielle Igbanago and Val Gilbert started the Coated with Love project 3 years ago, and each year they pick a charity. This year they chose Weight House in South Minneapolis. Even before the doors opened on Saturday, families lined up around the block. Once inside, children and parents got to select a coat and a hat. School supplies were also given out. Next year, the ladies say they want to collect even more winter gear. Coming up, a Brooklyn Center small business owner who is still ahead of the curve with fitness.
And then later in sports, we'll see how Wayzata's boys soccer team earned a spot in the state class AA championship game.
But first, a warm start to November. Temperatures climb into the 60s this week.
Oh, look at that. Students from Sacred Heart Catholic School in Robbinsdale took an engineering project to new heights Monday morning. Students had to figure out how to help their pumpkin survive a 2-story fall with recyclable materials. In the end, only one pumpkin survived unscathed.
Certain homerooms only had one crack or no cracks, and then some totally got destroyed, but it was really fun to watch and fun to build.
So each class created a pumpkin, and it was just a great experience for our kids to be a part of the engineering process.
The students in preschool through 8th grade took part in the project. The pumpkin with no cracks survived by being wrapped in egg cartons. There you go. 10 years ago, Curves was one of the largest fitness franchises in the world.
It's no secret that many Curves locations closed during the recession and after the company was sold to a private equity firm. The Brooklyn Center location is different. It is celebrating a major milestone this fall, and the franchise owner is a Brooklyn Center resident who still believes it's the best workout for women. Curves Fitness in Brooklyn Center, Jill Dalton leads an upbeat cardio class, encouraging the women to make this 30-minute workout count. This business is celebrating 15 years. Owner Jill Dalton has built a loyal following of local women who believe in the 30-minute circuit workout, which combines strength, cardio, and flexibility training in 30-second increments.
Change stations down. You can burn up to 500 calories in just a half an hour, so it's fast, but there's support, there's constantly support. It's a circuit. You're never waiting to get on a machine.
Brooklyn Center resident Gail Merritt has been a member all 15 years.
I really am not a good exerciser, but this is a good place for people like me because each thing is only 30 seconds. You go ahead, get on a machine, you do 30 seconds. Even if you don't like the machine, you can do anything for 30 seconds.
That customer loyalty is key.
It's down to earth. It's more down to earth, and it's faster.
Loyal members were key to helping Jill Dalton stay in business during the recession, and now amid increased competition from other fitness brands that have moved in.
I've discovered that I'm a very stubborn person, and I'm not going to let, circumstances make me do something that I'm not ready to do yet. So I've stuck with it.
Dalton downsized her location during the recession, cutting her space in half and reducing her expenses. Eventually, she would like to sell her business to retire. But Dalton recently signed a 3-year franchise extension and remains motivated by the success of her longtime members.
My club isn't for everyone, but the ones that it's for, it's perfect for them. They love it, just the atmosphere, the support.
Coming up, Tales from the Dark Side in Maple Grove.
The Halloween display that is people taking a second look. But first, highlights from the section football playoffs as a handful of local teams move on. John Jacobson has that and more next in sports.
Wayzata's win over Owatonna in the state class AA boys soccer quarterfinals gave the Trojans a trip to the semifinals against Edina in the first ever state soccer tournament at U.S. Bank Stadium. Scoreless into the second half, off the Wayzata throw-in by Drew Gallinson. Eric Adalan gets control in the box and scores for a 1-0 Trojans lead. Wayzata strikes again a few minutes later. Patrick Whale plays a nice ball from McLean King, and senior nets his third goal of the state tournament for a 2-0 lead. Trojans beat Edina for the third time this season. They advance the title game against Stillwater Thursday afternoon. Cooper had a first-round bye in the Section 5A football playoffs. The Hawks met Irondale in the section semifinals Saturday night, and Cooper dominates this game right from the start. Cameron King to Pedro Amosu on the short pass, and the receiver runs past the Irondale defense, and Cooper takes a 6-0 lead on his first possession. After a Phoenix Sproles punt return sets the Hawks up in great field position, it's C.J. Adams scoring, and it's 13-0 after one. A roughing the kicker penalty on a missed field goal gives Cooper a first down. Adams scores in the first play of the second quarter. 2-point conversion makes it 21-0 Hawks. And Cooper's defense stops Irondale inside the 10-yard line late in the first half. Ante Burns with this stop, and Cooper leads at 28-0 at the half. They'll come out strong in the second half. Adams scores one of his 4 touchdowns in the game. Cooper wins the game 42-12. Cooper gets a rematch with Spring Lake Park for the Section 5 championship. That's Friday night at Spring Lake Park. And in Section 5 4A, Benilde St. Margaret's beat Richfield 55-14 in the semifinals. The Red Knights host Holy Angels in the section final on Friday. Providence Academy, Brooklyn Center, and West Lutheran all lost in their section semifinals on Saturday. In Class 6A football, Armstrong was at Champlin Park in a matchup of 5 and 3 teams. First quarter, Armstrong running back Jesse Sherwood scores from 2 yards out to give the Falcons a 7-6 lead. The Rebels score on their next drive. Ernest Warlow, a 17-yard run, gets into the end zone. It's a touchdown. It's a 12-7 Rebels lead after one. They're up 19-14 at the half. Early third quarter, Rebels linebacker Diego Wilpring forces a fumble. Lumumba White recovers. It's one of 4 Armstrong turnovers in the game. A few plays later, Romello Atkins sneaks in for a touchdown as Champlin Park opens up a 33-14 lead. Chad Costello comes off the bench and throws 2 touchdown passes, including this one to Josh Gilliam, covering 33 yards. The Rebels go on to beat Armstrong 47-14. Champlin Park now plays Eastridge in the next round. That game is 7 o'clock Friday night at Eastridge High School in Woodbury. Maple Grove's football team has reached the Final Four of the Class 6A playoffs in each of the past 2 seasons. Crimson's road to make another run almost derailed in their opener. They were at home against Roseville. Third quarter, Crimson up 14-12, but Roseville's Luke Borchert to Levi Brown, a 43-yard touchdown. The Raiders are in front. Late in the third quarter, Crimson third and long. Brad Davison launches the pass. Teddy Rash will fight his way into the red zone for a big first down. And that drive continues into the fourth quarter. Davison capping it off with a tough 8-yard touchdown run. Maple Grove has the lead for good at 21-18. After a Maple Grove interception by Rash, Davison hits him for a 27-yard score. Maple Grove pulls away with a huge fourth quarter, and they win it 42-18. Maple Grove will host Edina on Friday night. The Hornets beat the Crimson by 1 point during the regular season. Also in Class 6A, both Hopkins and Totino Grace won their first playoff games. The Royals will play the Eagles Friday night at Totino Grace High School. And earlier today, Brad Anderson, longtime Wayzata football coach, stepped down. We'll have more on that story Tuesday starting at 4.
All right. Thanks a lot, John.
Thanks, John.
In Local Vote 2016, voters in Brooklyn Center will choose 2 council members come Election Day.
Yeah, 4 people are running for the seats, including Marquita Butler and Philip Gray. Gray is the Dean of Students at a charter school in Blaine and was a member of the Multicultural Advisory Committee in Brooklyn Center. Marquita Butler works for the Harvest Network of Schools in North Minneapolis.
I'm extremely passionate about Brooklyn Center. I'm a proud Centaur, committed to community and dedicated to progress. Breaking down the negative perceptions of Brooklyn Center starts with us. We need to promote all of the great things about Brooklyn Center and get rid of the negative things, such as the growing number of vacant lots. Brooklyn Center is rich in diversity and bursting with potential. If elected to City Council, I will ensure we have a clear strategy for creating a business-friendly environment that can bring jobs with livable wages into our community. Raising the standards for all of our schools is important and a passion of mine. I want to form partnerships with schools that shorten the achievement gap in Brooklyn Center. We have a growing aging population, and I will ensure we have programs in our city that fit their needs. I am Marquita Butler, and I ask for your support in making me your next City Council member of Brooklyn Center on November 8th.
Hi, my name is Philip Gray. I'm a candidate for City Council in Brooklyn Center because I think a responsive city needs to listen to its people and work together with the community. One of my goals will be to hold continuous listening sessions to learn what's important to the people of Brooklyn Center. I believe my skill set will make me an asset to the city. I want to see a revival here in Brooklyn Center, right here. Have children and raise a family right here. Start a business right here. Attend great schools right here. Shop, eat, and play right here. Own a home right here. Retire and have your grandkids visit you right here. We must do this together. This begins with each of us. Targeted, focused, and together. I am ready. Together, we can do this. On November 8th, I need your vote. I'm Philip Gray, and I ask for your support to be on your City Council in Brooklyn Center.
Alexander Koenig and Chris Lawrence Anderson are also running but could not tape a statement. Still ahead, Halloween decorating taken to a new level in Maple Grove.
We'll be right back.
Mother Nature had some tricks up her sleeve for Trunk or Treat. The annual event hosted by Brooklyn United Methodist Church usually brings Halloween to the parking lot where kids go car to car to get candy. However, because of the rain on Saturday, plans changed. While the weather didn't spook the kids, it may have frightened the volunteers.
The neat thing is we have enough people that have helped in the past that showed up early on. So just kind of having, Wendell take over the tables and chairs setting up, and our Jean, who does our games, kind of coordinating, making sure that goes somewhere. And then I'm running around trying, answer questions. So everybody kind of filled in a job. But yes, it was definitely a little more panic moments there as we tried to get ready.
So everybody was inside. About 500 to 600 kids attend Trunk or Treat every year. Well, finally, where creative minds capture the Halloween spirit in Maple Grove.
Check out the Graham home in Maple Grove. Greg Graham sent us these photos where creatures lurk and trees seem to be livelier than usual. It is billed as the best Halloween display in Maple Grove, and you will find it in the 12,600 block of 94th Avenue North in Maple Grove. That's if you dare. Moo ha ha ha, right? Wow, what a show over there.
Ought to be a lot of fun tonight. Everybody stay safe outside, watch for the little people.
Absolutely, that does it for us.
And we will see you back here again tomorrow, starting at 4.